What's going on, Beowulf Nation? I'm Beowulf back in it with another video. So you're obviously seeing the title of the video. I'm installing the Riva Racing handlebars on my 2019 Yamaha GP1800R behind me. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Existing subscribers, part of the Beowulf Nation, make sure you hit the bell notification if you haven't already. So let me show you a little, I got a little started just getting the ideas of what's going on. I already removed the front plate. This piece just pulls right out with the glove box. That's so you can kind of see into where this is all going to be. We had like these little pop rivets. They were a little pain in the butt to get off. So actually, I just gave one good old yank and yanked them on, and I'll replace whatever ones. I got one out real good, but they were just like struggle, and I just want to start getting into this. So you got to remove this first piece. They say in the instructions to remove this out, so I already did that. And then they say to remove the glove box out, and then the next stop is to take these handlebars out. So I need to get an Allen key with taking these off. All right, so I got those removed. They just pull right off. And this is what the back of it looks like. You're not going to reuse any of this stuff because it's going to be all new handlebars. But it gets you an idea of what to do. The next step is removing. Let's see, is it? Oh, that's hard. So these are just screws then that you have to remove off this to get this plate off, which is next to get removed off. All right, so I removed the cover. So you got to remove this bolt right there, this one, and this one. So there's 4 that I removed. I'm probably just going to leave these. These ones are really tight on there. I don't think I'm even going to get it off. And then the next part is getting all this. This is what it kind of looks like with the handlebars off, or with the cover off. So this cover is like huge. And it's just a big old bulky part of the ski. I don't know why they could have done something a lot more factory lower. I mean, it just rose it up to here with nothing being used. Alright, so I had these bolts that were not coming out, or the screws. They just were on so tight that I couldn't get off. So what I just ended up doing is get out my drill. I didn't fully drill out the bolts. I just drilled around where I just popped this plastic thing. This is basically what I did. And I got it out. I'm never going to put it back to stock anyways. And these things are like, they're like Loctited on. And there's just no way. The more you put force to try to loosen them, they just start stripping. So, yeah. You had to get to these cables, so I had to remove it, and it's just easier. The next step is the Allen key to remove the 4 bolts holding that on, and then I got to do the side here. I'll show you guys kind of what we're working with. And I think there'll be another Allen key holding it right. Looks even smaller, so that's the only thing holding that piece on. So you gotta remove that one, and then this thing basically comes down. It's just a bare bar now. Also, I'll show you too, this is everything that's being installed. This is also, I think I've shown in what's in a past video. I got this hydro dipped from Outlaw Hydrographics, and if you notice, this matches my custom Sponsons, Riva Racing Sponsons that I got hydrographed the snakeskin. So this is kind of what's all going in, and then yeah, I'm real excited. All right, so then the next step is removing these 2 bolts, and then once you pull this off, I'll show you there's more bolts to get this off, and you have to do it on both sides. All right, so I got this piece. It just kind of comes out, but I'll show you. To get this one off, you just take a flathead, pumps right out, I think the next one is you gotta remove this one. And you just pop this trim out, like so. And then we're to those two bolts. So that's pretty easy to take these pieces out. And then you gotta take these two bolts off. It gets you to more areas of the ski. Well, doesn't this look crazy now? So I move those pieces. This is what the panel looks like when you remove it. So obviously right there is fine. And then it's a reverse on the other side, exactly the same. It's cool. That's where the fresh air comes in here to the ski. That's the one thing too why I really like the GP1800R more than like Sea-Doo. I mean, I love my RXP-X. The nice thing is the superchargers up front, and plus you got all this air ducting coming all right there. So it's like as much fresh air possible the ski's getting than the Sea-Doo superchargers in the back where all the heat is. It's kind of a smart thing how they designed this with it, and that's kind of why I like it. And I have to say, this is a lot easier to remove the panels than when I had my RXT-X. It was kind of, some people I know when they've had to install the speakers have found it was really hard to remove the panels. And that's kind of too where it gets you at of saying, like some people like Sea-Doo style look more than Yamaha, but if you look, this is all the styling. One thing where I like Yamaha, this is the hull right here. This gets you the best way of seeing it is this is the hull. Look at all this. This is it. This is trim added on. This is the ski. Then when you look at Sea-Doo here, that's added on. This is added on. This is all added. These are all add-ons to you. Actually, this is the hull. That's the hull. But all this is over it to style how it looks. Then when you look, you're looking at basically the hull with minor things added on. And a very easy stuff. You know, you're looking, you remove this styling wise. And that's kind of why these look like how they do. And I think for working on them, I think it's real nice and fast to get to where everything you need to see on what I'm doing. And on to the next step. I started to install this late last night. It was hot out. It was like high 80s, and then today is like 55. So it's kind of crazy having the fan to try to keep cool now. I'm pretty good day for installing stuff. So I've removed this. Now you got to remove, there's a bolt here and a bolt here. And I guess you're supposed to be, from what the instructions are looking like, is lifting this whole piece off. So that's what the next step is. All right, to take this off, so you got the one bolt here, one bolt here, and then I've already pulled up, that's where the hood would come down. And then there's two bolts directly, that's what came out, and that's where I lift this up. In their instructions, they say to take the hood off. I have plenty of room. I have a stepping stool to get up there. I don't feel that I need to take this off because I have enough room in there. Maybe by the size of the person you would have to take it off. But from where I'm at right now, I'm not feeling that I have to remove it, so we'll see if I have to. All right, so I got the steering system out. So when you're in there trying to get this off, there's a nut that sits inside there, and then there are these tabs. They're bent over. You have to bend back to get to this bolt. And then this thing just slides straight up. And then I kind of pulled everything there, and then you have to drill with this plate. And then I think there's some stuff you remove off of this. This kind of shows you what is going in place of that. It said something about magnets. I'm trying to figure out where they're talking about the magnets. It might be this collar thing. I'm not sure. I'll have to look through what they want to be removed, but that gives you an idea of what's going on. All right, so I put that on there. That came out, the old steering thing. There was a screw that was on there that didn't come out. I actually had to drill it out. I'll show you guys. Right there, I've had a couple of those screws. Even when I did these parts, they're like locked on. They probably use red Loctite, and they're just stripping them, trying to loosen them. So I just drilled it. If nothing's fine, there's the magnets. I use red Loctite. That's the two Allen keys, bolts used there, and then into the next step. All right, so then the next step is you have to trim down a little bit. I trimmed probably about what they're supposed to. I got to do it on the other side, and that's to fit the steering shaft into there. You just need like a utility knife, razor blade. This one I keep in my Jeep all the time. It's foldable, but that's what I'm using. All right, so got that cut off. Now I'm gonna stick the steering shaft in. What the whole goal was of cutting that is originally, because I did stick it in first before cutting it, and it was slightly rubbing right there. So you can see by what I cut is exactly what you need. You can actually see right there, I had a little rub before cutting it, and it's perfectly where it's supposed to be now. All right, so it shows in there, and you just use like some painter's tape. I got some around the house. I first aligned pretty positive where I wanted it on the left side, and then worked on the right. Now, the big thing is you want to make sure is you can turn. As you can see, I rubbed a little bit at first, and then I can go there, and there's a decent distance. See how nothing's really rubbing, and it looks about the same distance. Pretty positive that's where I want it. I'm gonna mark the holes and then do the drilling. All right, so I use this silver Sharpie, and you can tell right there I marked the holes. Now I'm gonna take all this off again, unhook the bolts, because I hooked 4 of the bolts on each side, so this one and the one right there, before doing any of this mocking it up. But I'm gonna take this all apart to drill into these areas and then reinstall the plates, and then there's gonna be this grommet that goes around this for these controls, is what I'm going to be installing next. All right, so I drilled the holes with this, and then I'm thinking the next step is to there are these back plates, but the first thing I have to do is get everything all back together on it, back to how it was. All right, so I use blue Loctite on all 6 bolts. So you have one here, here, or not, take it back. I did blue Loctite on this bolt, on the same other side, this one, and the other side. I did not do it for the hood thing, hood latch. And then also too, don't make the mistake I did, is I put this all together and I had to take it back apart. So you want to have the bracket, there's a bracket behind here that holds these 2 bolts in. You want to install both of those before putting this on, because otherwise there's no way you're going to get your hands up here. So to do this plate, I unhooked the one bolt, another bolt, put it in place, and then it's all held together, and then tighten it down. The next step is take this garment, fix that into place, and then do the next plate. All right, so I got that step on, and then the next step will be, let's see, where's it all at? Rigging this up. So the settings on this, let me get some good light so you guys can see this. So the center hole is the OEM, how the steering input. The closer in, the faster the steering will be. The outside will be the slower the steering. It's a good question of what to put it at. I'm kind of on the fence. I always do stuff aggressive. Like if it's with the Sponsons or stuff, I have it in the race mode, the lowest down. This is a hard question because it's going to feel totally different having a different steering system. Oh man, it's going to be a hard decision. I obviously don't want it to steer slower. That I don't know why I would want to do that. I'm debating to go into faster. But also too, I'm trying to think too with the steering cable, if it might have to be adjusted then because of putting it into a different mode. So maybe at first I'll just play it safe and put it in the center, then I always can change it on and play around with it at later times. I kind of want to see how it feels and then kind of probably tool with it. So I'm going to probably do the center setting. We can what we can see in here, what's been installed. It's not a lot of seeing room in there. But I think, yeah, so you can see I reinstalled everything. Well, the steering, the thing that hooks that ball on the steering thing is the same as you took it off and put it on. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see, should be right where the light is. Then you tighten that bolt in, which is holding the steering on. And now you can hear you got movement. So then, I think the next step is to put on the handlebars. So what I did is put the seat back on, which I'll take back off to finish installing the rest of the panels. But my biggest thing was making sure the handlebars are centered, so it's not too far to the left or too far to the right. And then I angled it up so when sitting here, which I did install blue Loctite on these bolts, and especially when I did these two, if I didn't say that already, you have to take the pad off, which is right here. I'm going to put back on. But what I'll probably do is go out riding and then adjust the height. That's the one thing I like about this. So you can change like from it being higher up or lower. I put it kind of more centered. The reason why is when sitting and I had one of the bars a little bit lower, but when I turned it, I saw my knee was getting pretty close to this. So in case something happened where you would whack this, I want to have enough clearance. Because then when you actually, I was playing around with the Sea-Doo seat there, but my knees never get up to where those bars are on that one. And that's like full lock. So you got to think here is when you have full lock, either side, your knee isn't sitting, gonna hit right up into it, going too far into it when you're making a turn. So I can always just bring the Allen key width for the sides the next time I go riding, and then totally play around with it however angle I want. Which one thing that I really am impressed with the system is it really customizes it. And also too, it's gonna give people, when you're watching my videos, a lot more view of what's going on the dash. The one thing that's always frustrated me with the stock steering system is it was so bulky, you hardly ever could see in the video seeing what the dash was doing, anything. Now you guys get to see more, and I'll tell you, it's totally custom. If I ever in the end decide of doing some hydro dip on this, what I probably will do is buy the pieces that I need from this instead of using it. The reason why I would do that is because it's a couple weeks wait, and coming into the season, it's easier just to have, you know, basically this plastic piece, that plastic piece, and this. It's only like basically 3 pieces if I want to do it. I don't know. Well, also too, this one plus if you redo the existing pieces, as you has the holes already done. But in the end, being that it's already black and you have kind of the black theme going on now, I might not do it the more I'm thinking about it. I just don't know. Maybe it's in the downtime when you're not really riding it, but because we're coming into the season, it's better to get it all up and going. And I gotta spray a little lubricant in the back there because it's last time I went out, this thing was a little screechy. And you can go back here and just see where it's. And I think it needs a little. Yeah, the squeak's coming right from there. So it just needs a little lubricant, and that'll go away with that squeak. But I put it, like I said, in the center setting, which down below there. It's real easy to actually do it. If you have the cover off, you can just unhook the bolt and then just put it right on to whatever one. But I also want to see how this is going to handle, because now this is just a total different riding machine. And the nice thing is it gives you some more play with what to do. Now the next step is, let's take the seat back off and put the handlebar controllers on. All right, so everything you can customize the angle you want the handlebar to, or the grips to be at. So you got to tighten that side and that side once you get it. I kind of pushed it as far as it could go, not fully push it, but enough to where it's in all the way. Tighten that side and this one. Got the grips kind of where I want it. I can always adjust it to be the angle I want it to be. And then I'm going to do is this part next. I figured that it gives you, because you can actually adjust now the angle how I think the controls are all going to be. So yeah, I'm going to start this and make my way that way. All right, I have to say I'm really impressed. I had no clue how much customization. So you could angle this any angle, even the factory one, the angle of this, the angle of the handle, the grips, the bar. I mean, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, technically four adjustments just right in here of how you'd want to ride. And you could already tell with having like the GoPro in my mouth, well, this is my Osmo Action with a different rig, but it'll kind of get you guys an idea of what you'll be seeing with it. And I'm definitely happy with this. I'm still debating if I'm putting the little pad right here. I mean, I feel like it takes away some of the customizing that I did right here. So I don't know. I'm in the fence of leaving it on, having it on or off. I think it looks cool, kind of showing off all that. So I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do. If I'm going to use this or not, or just leave it like that. It's probably first one to get on and ride it. But yeah, now the next step is to take the seat back off and then put the side panels on and then the inside air, and it's pretty much almost done. To me it's feeling a little time consuming because I'm making sure I'm doing everything right. I'm probably taking longer than what they say in the thing to do, but also too, it's just yeah, I didn't want to scratch any of this up, and it's just taking my time, and it's actually kind of fun. I'm excited to take this thing apart and put it back together and just seeing how everything kind of hooks all in and how it all works, and it's always fun and exciting. So I'm really happy with this. I've had this bar system, I think like before the first of the year, and it's taken months to finally install it. I wanted to make sure I did the hydro dip, and then I got the hydro dip done, and then I was like, well, I'm waiting for my seat to come in. And now I got the seat come in, and now I'm just like with a bunch of stuff, and I just kind of want to get this thing appearance-wise kind of where I want it to go. And then I actually figured out too where those Jettrim side pieces go. So they would replace the whole graphics on the side here would be coming off. So pretty much majority of my graphics is coming off on the, basically this whole side all the way up is coming off. So I'm going to lose some of my graphics, so which is not a total bad thing, but then it's also the end. I want to do in the future custom graphics on this. And then custom graphics on the GP, and also been debating about doing custom graphics on the SXR. I like where it's black, but I'm kind of afraid when I'm in the water, not a lot of people notice me. So I'm just trying to figure out what my route is to do with this. I like how it looks stock. Very big graphics on this, where it's like big jetski, Kawasaki, XXR. I don't know what I would want to kind of do customizing with this, but definitely doing something kind of unique. I like where the Kawasaki looks. I mean, I think that looks perfect. But trying to figure out other stuff and with the graphics and with everything going on in the world right now, my last thing is going to a graphics shop right now and messing around with that. I pretty much got all the supplies to do a bunch of projects and not plan to go to the store anytime soon unless I have to. But if you're in the market to buy one of these, I'm telling you, I'm really liking this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I don't know if I'll change ever on the Sea-Doo. I wouldn't say ever say never, but with this model, it already has a different handlebar system, and actually the center part where it comes up and down isn't coming from this Spark Tricks has it, but also too, one of their snowmobiles is where it actually originated from. So this is actually a snowmobile part with the handlebars with it rising, which if you look at the snowmobiles makes total sense because of their difference in riding. So it's actually sharing a snowmobile part with that part of the steering system there in the center, and same with the Spark Tricks. This obviously doesn't come up and down, but you don't really have much adjustment except for it coming up and down on there. I like how it has the yellow matching the ski, and then the controls are different too than previous years of the RXP-X 2017 to 2012 will not look like this with the controllers, and it kind of looks, you know, aftermarket but a factory piece. So I don't know if I'd ever change it. I'm pretty happy with it. This, I was like, want to have you guys see more. Why I wanted to do this is just knowing the customizing of it. And also too, you guys will see more of the dash. The center thing here was too freaking bulky. It drove me crazy. That was probably like the only thing I disliked about the Yamaha GP was this big, bulky center steering thing. And I'm glad of the route I did. I'm happy I did with this pattern. Doing the snake skin, I just think it looks unique and it just kind of gives it my own take. I am not painting these bolts. I think they're fine of how they are because they're stainless steel. I did paint the bolts black that I used on the side of the Sponsons. I don't want to say, I won't ever say I wouldn't, never. It just was, it was hard to get all this stuff. This one was like the biggest one to get on. It was the hard one at the end with it. So I don't know if I really feel like pull them off. It kind of gets it to stand out too. And then just let's finish up the rest of this. It's getting late. I'm yawning. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night and I want to eat some food. So I'm probably going to continue this video in the morning. All right, so now let's go into the third day. It doesn't take that long to do this. It's just time consuming with the project. Actually, if you look now, earlier in the video, I had a beard or didn't shave and now I got a clean shave. And then the crazy thing, it was like super hot when I first started the first night. And then yesterday I was doing it. It was kind of cold. And then now it's hot again. It's where I live, it's kind of bipolar. It's kind of crazy. It's shorts and t-shirt weather. So what's all going on is in this part of the rest of the install. So we got this kind of squared away where I want it to be. And then now I vacuumed up all the different shavings and everything that's kind of was a mess. I've already kind of wiped down in this area before you put the panels back on. I also too cleaned off somewhat. I'm going to still wipe these down before I stick, or once I put them on. So the that's a hard thing when you leave off so many days to kind of click and be like, okay, well I got to do this. The last thing I'm going to do is put the cover on, because I might do is ride it once without it on and then adjust that one setting and then see what the ski rides like again. Is kind of where I'm at with it. So I might put it back on, I might not. I wish it was that kind of easier to take on and off real quick. But yeah, it's just what it is. So the next step is to put the panel on and then do the other side. It's pretty much reversing of what I've already done. But I can tell you it's crazy how much this thing is transformed, and I'm really feeling how cool this looks with the hydro dip. I'm telling you, Outlaw Hydrographics, if you're out looking at doing stuff, they did a really good job. Originally, you've probably seen the photos that said like Riva Racing there and Riva Racing up there, and I wanted something just to kind of make the ski look different. And I'm glad I left, like, I wasn't going to do this part because it was how it was shaped. And then plus to how much would only be exposed out. I liked it with the black. I'm happy that I left the bars black. And I'm pretty happy with kind of what I've set up of how I did the hydrographics with it. And if you haven't seen the past video, I did the Riva Racing Sponsons with the same matching hydrographic. The cool thing too, if you're new to hydrographics and you haven't ever seen it, so this is actually an automotive paint they use, and then that's a film that gives that design to it. And I'm really feeling up how things can go with this with other pieces in the future. Right now, if you're kind of out of the loop, the stuff with the coronavirus is crazy. Tons of businesses coast to coast are closing down, so the chance of me sending anything out right now isn't, I'm not going to be doing it. There was other pieces I want to do on the hood. My fear is right now is in case a business has to shut down, I might not get the piece back. And the reality is who knows how much longer riding time I have. I just saw it posted yesterday in Miami. They're closing all the marinas and boat ramps so people cannot go out and ride. And I've heard rumors it was happening around here. I haven't yet to see it, but I wouldn't doubt it. That's why I'm trying to get as much riding as I can and a little as downtime as possible. Right now in the days, it's not riding weather, with it being rainy or it's a little colder. I'm just trying to knock out a bunch of projects with my Yamaha GP1800R. So the first is the handlebars, and then going into the next video is a bunch of other stuff I'm doing with this to hopefully have it all done before the really nice ride, when it gets nice out, that I can go riding. So let's start putting all the rest of the stuff back together. This too, so before you push it in place, you start here. You don't start on this end getting in, and it has kind of like where it grooves in, and then you just push forward. See, it just, that's how easy it is to take this thing on and off. So you do not start with this end. You start here, and then this end goes in once you push in. Now the next step is hitting the, got a bolt here. And I think you first do, so then afterwards, well, obviously you want to get this one in, and then it's this one and this one, because there's a cover piece that goes over these. And then the last one is this. It's kind of reversing where you were accessing to. So if you remember for the install, so you got this bolt, and there's a nut behind there. These two bolts I did blue Loctite on, and then the next step is you have, I think it's the white trim goes on next. So then the last two bolts you have to do would be this one and this one. So this one, the bolt goes right in, and then the bolt has a nut that goes on the back with that. So that's what it looks like once you put this piece in next, and then it's going to be, you got to put that, there's a black piece that goes there, and then you fit the other body piece on next. All right, so these two bolts, you don't have to put blue Loctite. It was just the one that was behind there. In there, you have to do it. Now it's just reversing to the other side of the ski. All right, so got that side on. Next, do the bolt here, and see the bolts here and here. All right, so I started with this bolt and that bolt. Used blue Loctite. Then did this screw with the nut on the back with that. Then the next step is just like I did before. We're gonna put the white trim on next. Snap that piece in, wipe it down. Next is the black piece that goes in. All right, put the black piece in, then just put this piece in. I just gotta get the bolt washer right there, and the bolt right there, and then here's the body panels are on. All right, all done on this side. Next step is putting in the glove box back in. That was real easy. It just kind of pushes right back in. It's all set with that. It's looking good, looking good. All right, so this is what it looks like. Man, awesome.
Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop.
So leave in the comments, do you guys think it looks better leaving it without having this on, or with it on? So I'll show you guys, this is what it looks like with it off, and that's what it looks like with it on. So comment at the bottom, what do you guys think? Should I leave it on or should I leave it off? But it's all hooked up. And then I gotta, next time when I go out riding, I'm gonna tweak everything too. I'm gonna bring the tools I need to adjust any angles of anything. When I go out there, I'm just not feeling where I put stuff, and that's the kind of beauty of the adjustability with this. And I definitely tell you, it looks different, and it gives that look kind of similar to what stock my RXP-X came like. But I think this is far beyond of what that one came like, and I'm really happy with the customization and with Riva Racing coming out with a product like this. All right guys, so it's the end of the video. I hope this install video helps you with either deciding about buying one of these or with kind of putting together, because sometimes instructions miss certain things, and I try my best to come out with cool install videos. And I really appreciate, like I said, Riva Racing coming out with a very cool product. Definitely, I'll tell you, there was one other kind of thing on the market similar to this, but you could tell that Riva Racing's product was better than what the other company's one that was out there. I will not say names, but I'm definitely telling you, customizing they have too, because this was an extra add-on piece where this was black. Throw it through here. This is what came stock on the handlebar, so it would have been chrome, and I really don't, or it's stainless steel billet, but it's look kind of chromy like. It definitely gives it that really blacked out, really cool look going with it. But it's the end of the video. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Existing subscribers, like I say, hit that bell notification. You get alerted as soon as an upload is uploaded. And people on your mobile phones that are using YouTube, there's other settings you have to do besides hitting a bell notification with that if you're viewing on your mobile. Remember every day is Earth Day. Be driven to win. Also, do check out the I Am Beowulf merch at IamBeowulf.com. I got the t-shirts, got the hats. You get all supporting the Beowulf Nation with the GP1800R hats, t-shirts. You got stuff for the RXP-X, some stuff I'm discontinuing with the RXT-X. Just check it out at IamBeowulf.com. Also, too, I have an Amazon store. That's Amazon.com/shop/IamBeowulf. Make sure to check that out. Be driven to win. Remember, every day is Earth Day. Be safe out there, because I'll tell you, it's crazy out there. And also, too, just check out my second YouTube channel, Beowulf Nation. I do all reviews and stuff that's non-jet ski related. And then talking a lot about this coronavirus stuff on there too. So make sure you check that channel out too, Beowulf Nation, and hit the subscribe button to that. I greatly appreciate it. Peace out, Beowulf Nation.